Hello, welcome back to Off the Rack Rebellion, the podcast where we talk about costuming and how to take everyday finds and incorporate them into your everyday cosplays. Hello, Billy.
What's up?
So
We're
nice to see
back.
you. I know we
I
always like
wonder.
film these and then they're out of order, and then when people are like, "What are you
Yeah,
talking
I don't
about?"
know. Yeah, I don't know if to say like hello again, but then it's always hello again, right?
Yes, it's always hello again, which is so nice. Like getting to like chat once a week or a couple times a month or whatever. It's always so nice. So
Yeah.
we are gearing up for Andor season 2.
Yeah, guess
Oh.
what? We're talking about Andor again.
Woo! If you haven't watched Andor, maybe skip this one, but if you haven't watched Andor, skip this one and go watch Andor.
And if you,
That's your
yeah,
assignment.
yeah, and if you've seen it, watch it again.
That's what my massage therapist, I see him used to see him more frequently, but I see him every once in a while. I pulled a muscle on my back this week, so I definitely saw him. I was like so we give each other assignments, you know what I mean? We'll be like, "Have you checked out this one? Have you checked out that one?" You know, we're both busy people. Sometimes we don't like check out everything. But he's like, "I can't remember what assignment you gave me last time." I'm like, "I gave you one."
Mm.
And it was Andor. He's like, "Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry." I'm like, "You need to watch it in the next 2 weeks, dude. Like, you need to get on this." Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be texting you. Have you seen it yet? Yeah. So, oh my gosh. So it's so hard to break that show down though, because it's so like, when people ask me what it's about, I'm like, the beginning, like
The beginning.
espionage,
Yeah.
like the
Right?
big bang that sparked that, whole thing. Like, I'm like, how do you describe that? Or how do you pick your favorite part? Like, so
How
good.
do you? I was thinking about it, and I was
Yeah.
thinking about it last week when I pitched this idea, and
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, just I don't know, episode 1 through 12, is
Yeah.
it? What is it?
Right.
Should I just
Like,
say
yeah.
that? Um, but I thought like these don't have to be like your ultimate like
Mhm.
favorite moments. I have a couple
Yeah.
things where I'm like, I just remember, and I'm like, oh, that was really cool to see,
Yeah.
or this, that, and the other, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like when
there's
people ask me who my favorite character is, I'm like, "1?"
Yeah,
Like,
I
why
don't
why
know.
why 1?
What day on what
Yeah.
arc,
Yeah, 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 exactly, yeah. And even in this show, it's like, "Oh, I can't even choose my like, who's my favorite? What's my favorite look? Where's my fa" It's hard. So we're gonna talk about it all. Like, we're gonna give
Yeah.
some big favorites. Not 1, but many.
Who would you, if you had to, blaster to the head, right? If you had to
Yeah.
choose someone's wardrobe that's like the wardrobe you had to wear
Oh,
always, who
oh,
would it be?
Bix Colleen, hello, like, oh my
Okay.
god, I
See?
love her. Well, okay, we spoke about the kids on Canary. You will see the episode.
Yeah,
I can't remember which order they're going in. All of that is
yeah.
amazing as well, but, from the moment that I saw Bix, I was like, "I love everything you're wearing," and the amazing costumer, her name is Natalie. Now I'm, like, blanking on her actual, like, screen name, but, like, like,
Oh, who did
capital
the
C
Bix?
cosplayer. She's just finished
Yeah.
an amazing Bix, and she looks so, so good. She's so talented. Why am I blanking on her screen name? But anyway, Natalie, like, I don't know if she listens, but you're amazing. Yeah, she's like, I was so excited to see those components broken down because I love the textures and colors we talked about the whole show, and
Mhm.
I love a lot of the wrapping that Bix has going. Actually, I'm wearing
Yeah,
a wrapped vest right now
yeah.
over a tunic that kind of wraps at the bottom. Like, I like
Okay.
that. Mhm. Yeah. So, what about you? Like, what would you be like? Oh, that's my look. If somebody's gonna be
Oh.
like, if Lucasfilm calls you up and says, "Here, we're gonna have our costuming department, like, put together a look for you," what would it be?
Oh. It's so hard.
This is
It's
like our
so
equivalent
hard.
of what would you do if you won $1,000,000,000, right? It's like if
Yeah, well,
Lucasfilm
I've got a
calls you
couple of
up
ideas, yeah.
and said they'll, like,
Um,
just airship something to you.
would it be weird to say that I want everything Cinta wore?
No, because I love her. Oh my gosh, yes, you're right. Shoot.
There's
Now
so
I
many
love
changes and so many
there
tactical
is and, like, yeah,
options.
one of her outfits oh, shoot, I can't remember, like, which scene it is that she's wearing it. I think it's part of the heist where
Mhm.
she's got some great it's a great fitting, like, there's some boots that she has, and I'm like, "Oh, those are amazing," and some just great fitting pants and stuff like that. I'm like, "Oh god, what part is that?" There's a lot of, there's a lot of behind the scenes photos that those actresses
Mhm.
and she's that outfit that she's in
Yeah.
that's where they've got, like, the big blasters that, like
I think it's when they're coming down the dam. It's
I
like
think
these,
it
like,
is when they're
tactical
yes,
vests.
it's when
It's
they're
a very
rappelling.
tactical fit, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I do love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
All right. And
She
I
also
think
does the imperial look
mhm.
after the heist to
Yeah.
sort of get away,
Yep.
and, the sort of, the thick sort of woolen, almost like shearling collar,
Yeah.
almost Sherpa kind of
Mhm.
vest thing,
Yep.
at the start of the Aldani,
Yes.
that I love as well. I
Yeah.
just yeah, everything.
Yeah, okay, oh, man, that's so okay, so see, why it's so hard? I know, it's so tough because I did everything they put her in, I was like, "This is perfect."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that takes me, like, back to we were discussing behind the scenes of, like, how do you choose your favorite portion of this show? Like, even your favorite episode or even your favorite whatever, but I do the Aldani arc, is
So good.
it's so good.
It's
Like,
so good.
and real I mean, like, Nemec's manifesto, I feel like changed my life, and so I'm just
That's what I was
okay,
gonna
so
that's what I was gonna say, like,
this is why
this
we're
show
space
can
siblings.
be it could be broken down into, like, 3 major, like,
Yeah.
monologues almost,
Mhm.
like, that like, it's not cut down by arc, but it's almost beginning-ish,
Mhm.
middle-ish, end-ish,
Mhm.
which is Nemec's manifesto being, like,
Mhm.
being a monologue,
Yeah.
Luthen's,
Yeah.
monologue, and Marva's
Yes.
monologue, right?
Yeah.
So I try to sort of break it in those as those being like tent pole moments in the
Mhm.
show. Obviously, there's 4 arcs,
Mhm.
and there'll be 4 arcs in season 2 as well.
Yeah.
But we have like the general sort of Ferrex arc, which is,
Mhm.
Cassian against the Corpos, and
Mhm.
then the Aldani heist,
Mhm.
and then the Narkina 5 arc, and then the sort of funeral back
Yeah.
on Ferrex arc,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
it caps it all off. So what's your favorite?
I know, right? I know. I do love I mean, I love them all. I love them
Me
all for their
too.
different reasons, right? It's so hard to choose. The Aldani to me is this he's starting to see, right?
Yeah,
He's starting to get this, "Oh,
there's
huh."
something bigger, right?
Right?
A click,
Yeah, and
right?
yeah, totally, and it's like it's this growth, and obviously, like, Narkina 5, like, he learns a lot, right? He learns lots
Yeah.
the very hard way, but I think that that little band that he is placed with is so formative as
Mhm.
well, like, it yeah, and I just love those characters a lot, like, I really liked them.
I think there's a very big defining moment. I think the Aldani heist is probably my favorite, and what I
Mhm.
love about the show is that, like, that, of course, will change, and
Yeah.
I don't always watch the show from beginning to end. I will
Oh,
pick, like, the arc that I
that you
wanna,
wanna
like,
see. Oh,
drop
that's
in
a good
on, and I
idea.
think it is broken up in a way where
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Um, but I always go back to
Yeah.
Aldani,
Yeah.
and, because I think it's like you said, it's a very formative moment. There's
Mhm.
a pivotal moment when he kills, what was his name? Clem? No, that's his
Oh.
name. But, he
Yeah,
kills
yeah.
Cousin
Yep.
from the bear.
Yeah.
He kills Cousin from
That
the
guy.
bear. I got very upset
Yeah.
when he did that, right? But that's a moment where I will say, just on a personal level, like a personal thing, like the Aldani crew was like the inspiration
Mhm.
for Burgundy Squadron. It was
Yes.
these very gray characters,
Mhm.
these characters that are not all the way good, not all the way
Yeah.
bad. They're complicated, they're real, they're
Mhm.
grounded. They
Mhm.
have maybe, shady pasts and bright futures, and vice versa. Like,
Mhm.
they do good, but sometimes do good by any means necessary, which can tip, dip a toe into perhaps a little bit of bad. Like,
Mhm.
it's so beautifully complex, this
Yeah.
group, right? You have the idealist in Nemec, and then with cousin, I kept blanking on his name, I'm sorry.
I
But
know.
with cousin from the bear, with cousin from the bear, who's phenomenal in it, and he's phenomenal in the bear as well. I love him. Anything that he's in, he's incredible. If just look up his name as a actor and like watch whatever he's in, because he's always incredible. Um, he was a person who was down to do good, but
Mhm.
ultimately looking out for himself. So
Mhm.
there was an opportunity for him to sort of abscond with the money. And I think
Yeah.
when he mentioned that to Cassian, that's when something clicked.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, that for Cassian, it's always, despite being a thief
Yeah.
and could maybe sometimes be swayed to do something like that, he
Yeah.
knew that this was for something better. The manifesto changed him,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
that moment changed him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
think that that manifesto is such a, like, pivotal point that inspires him so much. I love that. Um, the Narkina 5 arc is
mhm,
so I don't know, like, valuable, enriching, like, eye-opening. Like, it's really, I think, the first not the first time that we really see how evil the Empire is, but it's a
mhm,
really in-depth we see, I feel like in that scene in, was it The Force Awakens where, Kylo and it's not really the Emperor, it's probably whatever, where, like, he's like, "Ah, kill 'em all," you know what I mean? Like,
right,
I feel like we get these little because like, the original Star Wars, there was violence, but it wasn't, like, over the top, it was just like, "These are the
right.
bad guys, just trust us," you know? But I think that really that Narkina 5 was this first in-depth detailed reasons why they are, like, seeing their mechanics of how evil they are towards the
Yeah,
humanity of the galaxy, right?
I think it's
Um,
cruelty,
it's
because I think
cruelty.
you could be
Yeah.
evil without being cruel. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not, but, like, there's a streak of
Mhm.
cruelty,
Yeah.
which is like, ooh, it's really eye-opening
Yeah.
when they take so
Yeah.
much, like, pleasure in torturing,
Yeah.
it's
Definitely.
very cruel. It's very cruel. Comes from
Yeah.
a
Yeah. It's
dark
not just
place. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's, like, very much emulating, like, work camps that have been in the real world and these things and stuff like that, and it's very much like indentured servitude and, like, things like this
Yeah.
that have been real concepts that humans have thought up, you know what I mean? And it's very like, "Oh, wow." You kinda, like, look back and you're like, "Oh." Like, there's something that keeps coming back that people, like, keep I just think it's a very interesting connection with, like,
I
real
love
world.
seeing that because,
Yeah.
Tony Gilroy says, like, "This is I'm doing Star Wars, and I'm trying to make it as serious as I can," like,
Yeah.
and not in not so much in tone, although it is tonally very
Mhm.
serious, but, like,
Very.
he wants to take that, or he did take that universe seriously
Yeah.
and grounded it,
Yeah,
so
like,
showing
how does
of
it
its
function?
cruelty.
And then you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, somebody had to make all this shit that they're building these things with," right? And it's like, I love that they thought down to that detail and then they gave that glimpse. It was just brilliant.
And the fact that they were handing out these sentences, like, so
Yeah.
willy-nilly because they needed
Yeah,
a
because they
workforce.
needed a workforce, which
Yeah.
is not far. You think about people who were sent to Australia, you know,
Mhm.
from England,
Yeah.
right? Like, it was not that different, or that were sent to the colonies in the 17th, 18th century,
Mhm.
as indentured servants. Like, this our I am standing in the US and you are standing in the UK, and our history is very much wrapped up in mechanics that were the same as this, which
Yeah.
is just like, oh, wow. Like, it's very heavy, but it's very real. And so that was it just all the acting, just everybody in those were fantastic, and the line, "I can't swim," was like,
Oh,
oh, it was
gut-wrenching, I
I
know.
know it might be one of the most powerful lines and that's one of the things is, like, there's so many characters like that and Marva's speech and Nemec's
Mhm.
manifesto, like, they are so powerful. I am forever grateful if they didn't just, like, try to make movies out of this, that they gave us these
Yeah.
longer forms of telling the story, so that, everyone could play out these depths of character and humanity and everything, so, yeah. Ugh.
Um, what I what I love after the Narkina 5 arc and after they escape is, um, Cassian and Melshi going on this, like, little side
Yes.
quest and, like, encountering those 2 aliens and, like,
Yep.
having to, like and they get caught up in a net because it sort of then circles back to this kind of, outrageous, very campy,
Mhm.
kind of sci-fi,
Yeah.
and I love that there's that balance after all of that really sort of, serious bit
Yep.
that we saw, and then the big escape, and then we get that little
Yep.
moment, which is just a few scenes, and
Yep.
they're brilliant, um, and, it just kind of it lifts it. There's a bit of levity there, which is like, "Okay, that awful part is over.
Mhm.
Here's a breath.
Yeah.
Here's some levity." Like, the whole scene
Yeah.
changes, the lighting
Yeah.
changes, everything, like, and
Yeah.
then we're
'Cause there
back to
is so
normal.
much serious in the show. You know what arc that we haven't even mentioned is Mon Mothma. Like
Yeah, just
that's
her
a
story, her arc, yeah.
very pivotal, like, seeing her pulling strings in the background, trying to build some stuff up in the background, trying to, like, keep it under the table, working with Luthien. Um, it's fascinating to see this character that was, like, in the beginning, and now they're like, "Oh, we're putting backstory behind her. Oh, we're putting more backstory behind her." Like, we are, like, because as a kid, you're like, "Yeah, there's 2 women in the rebellion. Who's the other one?" You can never remember her name, right? And you're like and now you're like, "Oh, shit, she was the real deal.
Yeah,
She was,
she's
like,
an
the
architect,
mover and
yeah.
shaker." Yeah, for sure, and you're just like, "Oh, wow." I do
Yeah,
love
it's interesting to see, like, how involved she was and that even though she wasn't boots on the ground, like, she
Mhm,
was definitely an important part,
mhm,
because you need all of it, you know? You
mhm.
need all
Yeah,
sides of that for it to
yeah,
work. You
definitely.
can't
I
just throw a brick, through a window, like,
Yeah,
that's not gonna do
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't.
it'll just end, yeah, for sure, and that I think that was equally as important, as Nemec's actions and manifesto and Luthien and everything like that, was
Okay.
that she was definitely oh, yeah, yeah. She was definitely trying to, like, yeah, pave the way and get the funds and everything, that was and it was interesting that they were like her personal life that they were showing and things like that, and I loved seeing just more of, like, the juxtaposition of her the style and the world that she lived in, and it was such a stark contrast to everything that Cassie
Mhm.
was involved in, and so I loved that balance between the 2. Um, very
How would it
showed very real world, so just very, "Oh, we're on this planet now. Oh, we're on this planet now," like
I'd invite you to take a look at or look up this YouTube channel called Generation Tech. I
Mm,
will go off, like, if you if you wanna give me something that I can talk about for a half hour, it's the amazing, like, video essays that Generation Tech has been doing for years and years and
okay,
years. This is, like, before, I got on Instagram or whatever. I've been subscribed to Generation Tech for years and years and years. He's
okay,
only getting better.
okay.
Um and I think, like, for a lot of us, something happened when Andor came out. Like,
Mhm,
he always did these really in-depth videos on, um, like, ship manufacturers and what it
mhm,
meant to, like, be part of that, like, war
mhm,
industrial complex, and,
okay,
like, he would break down every show, every movie, and he does it in such a way where he's not interjecting, like, any, like, personal opinion. What he's
okay.
doing is he's connecting them to real world events and real world, like, companies and
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
trying to ground everything in
okay,
these video essays. So that's what I love about him is that there's no real, like, he's not like, I didn't like this show or whatever. Like,
okay,
there's none of that. There's none of that.
yeah,
He's really
great.
just trying to break everything down and
That's
trying to connect it to parables that we might know, other
Okay.
stories we might know through history, real world things, real world companies, how
Nice.
war is defined here, how war is defined in Star Wars, all these kinds of things, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But something happened, like with all of us, when Andor came out, because uh, I think he's been waiting for a show like this because this is
Oh.
exactly like so he's been doing for since the beginning, he's been doing videos. I
Okay.
mean, if you really wanna lose, like, a week's worth of
Okay.
time,
So put this on
go
my
back.
next time I get COVID viewing, like,
Yes,
list.
yes.
Like
And he'll do, like I would look up just Generation Tech Mon
yeah.
Mothma, see what he
Okay.
has,
Ooh,
see what he's
yeah.
done in the
Okay.
last, like, year or 2. I'll
Yes.
find some links as well, and I'll send them to you, but, yeah,
Okay.
anyone listening to this as well, like, for my money, that's the best.
Okay.
I don't really watch, like, videos, like, I don't really I
Mhm.
know we're, like, doing a podcast right now talking about, like,
Yeah.
a show, but I don't really watch, like, videos or listen to,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
stuff, like, about, like, "This is what I thought about this show,"
Yeah. Even
but I
though this
do
is what we
watch
do.
that. I know, yeah, I know. I don't know how I justify it to myself, but I do watch that because I what I don't want is the opinion, like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You're
there's a
like,
lot
yeah.
of, like, toxic stuff out there,
Mhm,
and what I
mhm.
don't wanna hear is like, "I didn't like this because there's a,
Mhm.
person of color."
Mhm,
Like,
mhm. Totally, yeah.
like, none of that
You can stay in
happens
your
on
bubble.
Generation
We've got
Tech.
a little
Yeah.
bubble. Yeah.
None of that happens on Generation Tech.
Okay,
It's just like I
fantastic.
just learn.
Yeah.
I always
Wow,
learn
that
something,
is
you know?
so cool. I love that. I'm gonna have to recommend that
He just
actually to
did
our
one.
teen. He's always coming down. Like, he watches videos, like, all these, like, video documentaries on a lot of history stuff, and a lot of it
Oh, that would
is
be
the
I would
history
love it.
behind the big world wars and things like that. So I
He
might
would love it.
yeah,
He
you
would love
probably
it.
would.
He just did a video on Luthen. Actually,
Okay.
the very latest video he did was on Saw Gerrera,
Oh, okay.
and,
Nice.
just his sort of whole story
Yeah.
and where we see him, where he came from, why he is who he is, and who
Okay.
he's like in the real world.
Okay.
He's done a few on Luthen, but he did one recently, whereas like I think the thumbnail is like it just says doomed with a picture of like Luthen, and it's like it talks about how a character like Luthen is a catalyst but isn't someone who survives.
Mm,
He's not gonna like go
mhm.
on and become a senator. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we're gonna see him die. Like
Yeah. Okay.
I or disappear or something,
Yeah, yeah, walk
I,
off into
you
the
know,
yeah,
but
distance, and we never hear from him.
he is a character that is but I will fight to tooth and nail for this, but I think he's the most important character in all of Star Wars, like
I
in
think
all of the
yeah.
rebellion.
Yeah.
But he is a catalyst and he does, that's what he does. He came in,
Mhm.
he sort of fueled this, and he's going to disappear
Mhm.
by one way or another.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but he's done them on Mon Mothma. He's done it. I'm talking too much about Generation Tech, but like it's really, really
Yeah.
good.
No,
It's
I'll
really,
check
really
it
good.
out for sure.
And yeah,
I
and
like
just
that
all
concept
ancillary
too.
stuff as well. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, awesome. No, that
yeah.
sounds fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it is just one of those shows where it's like there are so many layers.
So many layers. Yeah.
So, it definitely which was why when it came out, so many of us were like, "This is Star Wars for adults." I mean, like, the very opening episode, we're like, "Oh, this is not
Someone
kid
gets
stuff," right?
murdered.
You're like,
Like,
"Yeah, totally." Like, he's definitely, like, yeah, in a shady establishment, and you're like, "Oh, wow. Star Wars for adults. Yes, please. This is fun." Um, yeah.
whenever we first see Cassian ever, it's always him killing somebody. Just think about that. This is the first time we saw him in Rogue One. He murders a guy.
They're just trying to, like, keep it
So
real. This is oh, man.
it's
Yeah,
dangerous.
it's dangerous.
I
So
can't wait to
now
see him get to that point,
I
like
know,
get to to
I know.
fully
Yeah.
fully become a rebel. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, I'm interested to see it, and then I'm interested to go back from season 1 and just be it'll be like me and June be like, "I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting down and watching, season 1, season 2 back to back and just, yeah, like,
yeah.
witnessing the whole
What? So
growth."
we have Ferrex, we have the Aldani
Yeah.
heist, we've got Narkina, and then we sort of go back to
Go back to
Ferrex.
Ferrex, and
Uh,
that's probably my most screenshotted scene is that funeral scene
mhm.
because of the colors, because of the outfits, and it is so pivotal. So it's definitely it's and Marva's speech is so fantastic, and the fact that they tried to slide,
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
but
Yeah.
now we all have this, like, coded lingo of, like,
Mhm.
"Fight the Empire," right?
Mhm.
It's definitely an Arabesh on one of my messenger bags the proper way,
Mhm.
which is kinda fun because I can walk around and not many people know what it says. Um, you know?
I've been doing sort of protest kind of stickers that say like "fuck the empire," and
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
another one that says "eat the rich," and those are available if you want to go out
Oh,
and uh, vandalize something.
yeah.
No, 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 no. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. But just
Yeah.
send me a message. I don't know. I might have
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I need those, though, I love it, I love it, but yeah, it is that it's that uprising feeling that a lot
Mhm.
of folks feel, and it's
Yeah.
very it's
What a moment in
raw.
time for this to come
Mm.
out. It's
I
insane to me
know.
how, like, the parallels
Yeah,
it's insane, right?
yeah, definitely, I think it's going to be very much what I need to watch, right? Is like,
Yeah.
okay, like, where does this go? Well, we know where it goes, but, like, just yeah, feeling that struggle as well. It's like, yeah, this feels applicable, but anyway. Yeah, I'm interested to see also, if we go back to Ferrex, if there's anything else, or if that story is closed, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
is there going to be any does Ferrex exist, or does Ferrex get used as, like, a Death Star target practice? You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing because I set my character as being like, "Oh, she lived on Ferrex for a little while," and I'm like, "Hmm,
Mhm.
does Ferrex exist?"
Is it
Like,
there? Yeah.
where
Is it
is
exa
in there?
Yeah, there's a big chunk of my backstory that I'm just
Yeah.
waiting to see, like,
Oh,
what
yeah, I'm
happens in
gonna
this,
redo
you know?
all of mine at some point in time, I do believe,
Um,
but yeah, there
yeah.
is that. I was always like, "Oh, please tell me they made it." So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, we're getting into season 2 now, but we'll probably do
Mhm.
the last trailer, which I don't know if you've seen it,
Yeah.
but it's
It's, like, still
amazing.
sitting the email of, like, "Hey, the next trailer's out," is still sitting in my email inbox
It is.
untouched. I'm like, "I'm gonna get back to that."
I got
Okay.
chills watching that
Okay.
trailer. Like,
Oh, yes,
the
okay.
first one we saw was kind of
Okay.
it definitely was a trailer, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like, teaser, but it also
Mhm.
wasn't a sizzle reel. It was because it was, like, set to
Little, like
music, we're seeing part of the show, but
little,
it's,
like,
like,
"What is
set
this?"
to music, like, I think there's a I think there's a term for it, and
Okay.
it might be like a production trailer or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
but this last one that came out, I think a week ago, is like
Mhm.
that's I think what's gonna
Okay.
sort of stand as like
Okay.
the trailer.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
and I got
Okay.
chills. I got
Okay, because I got
chills.
chills when we watched that little behind the scenes kinda
Mhm.
making of clip. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a bit of a week at my house, so I haven't had time to sit down and be like, "Okay, I'm watching it." I wanna, like, clear my schedule and
Yeah, we
watch
should
it.
cover it, but I think, we'll do that pretty close to it'll
Yeah,
release pretty close to Andor, season
yeah,
2 releasing so that
yeah.
for people that are
No,
trying
no, we're
to
getting there,
get it.
like,
Yeah.
with our episodes and with the calendar date. I'm, like, trying to think about what's going
Yeah,
where.
for
I'm like,
people
"Oh,
that
we're
are
almost
trying to,
there."
like, skip it, like, I don't want also to,
Mhm, mhm.
provide another place that they have to skip, but
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. Yeah, true.
Um, yeah,
Ah,
anyway, there's
gosh,
a lot
there's
good.
so
I
many
would have
good
loved to have seen more of Morlana 1,
oh, yeah.
um,
Mhm,
just because I think that's, a look and a feel that
mhm,
we don't often see,
mhm,
in Star Wars, just sort of a, you know, I don't know, some kind of pleasure planet, some kind of,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we don't which was groundbreaking because you were
Mhm.
excited about the loafers.
Yes.
It was like loafer I remember when we were all like, "Billy,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
look at the loafers."
I
Um,
was because I was like, "We can't just," but yeah, we had
we
a
yeah,
whole
they can't live
conversation
in
of that. We
boots
can't just
forever.
boots
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that was a
You ever
big
been on a
ask.
beach with boots? That's
Yeah, oh,
bizarre.
it's even if you're in winter, it's like, "Oh, this is weird,"
Yeah.
and then the sand still gets in there somehow. Yeah, no, boots on the beach is a bad idea. And I like sand, unlike Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
But, that was really I would have loved to have seen more of that and more of, like, how did people in the galaxy, like, unwind and recreate and just, like,
Yeah,
kick back, and who was doing that? Like, was it all
right.
walks of life, or was it, like was this more of like a, I don't know, you're visiting, I don't know, like,
Yeah,
some
I
island off the coast of Greece or something like that, right? Where it's like, "Oh, this is the
yeah,
for the
it felt
rich."
like it was people save up for the one a
Mhm.
year, but then
Yeah.
it also felt like there were people that are, are
The
frequent
locals maybe,
flyers. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, or like the Jimmy Buffett kinda people, like, right?
Yeah.
That they've, like, moved to paradise and they just do whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, Jimmy Buffett was a very successful singer, but, he's saying a lot about being that beach bum and that, like,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I think it's very just kinda interesting for more character, like,
Yeah.
possibilities. Maybe you have a little towel cabana on a beach on a tropical planet.
Yeah. We'll see what we see.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, anyway, it was incredible, right?
Yeah,
What can we say?
yeah.
We try to pick our favorite moments, try to pick our favorite scenes, but it's like the whole thing was so good.
The whole thing was the favorite, and it was just so funny because a lot of people will ask me like, "Well, what's your favorite movie?" And it depends on the mood that I'll be like, "Well, the very first Star Wars because of the historical value of that very
Yeah.
first Star Wars, but also Rogue One because, like,
Yes.
that I feel like had such an impact, and it was so wonderful that they were like, "There's more of a story there." Like, this was such a like, whoever was like, "Yeah, let's dig into that direction more," good on ya. I'm so happy that you won out in whatever meeting you were in. Um, so, yeah, it's just been rich storytelling.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I know.
I think that wraps us up for this one. Why don't the people out there listening, why don't you tell us what your favorite moments are?
Thank you.
It's hard to choose. I
Or
understand.
your
Give us
favorite
a few.
looks or
Give us
your
your
favorite
favorite
lines.
3 or 5 or
Yeah.
10 or 20. But as always, where can they find you?
Oh, I am Kate Ryder. I'm at One Scavenger's Wardrobe on Instagram, One Scavenger on Blue Sky, and I think that's all my social media. Yeah.
I'm Billy Maddox. You can find me anywhere, but I'm on Instagram. Come say hi.
Come talk about
um,
loafers.
oh, also, like, the Off the Rack Rebellion.
Oh, jeez. How are we figuring that we have a joint again? I'm so sorry. I do not.
The Instagram, which I'll be putting up some stuff. You'll be putting up some stuff for a future episode
Mhm.
that's coming out, which is a great one, but we've had to push it because of Andor
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But you'll be putting stuff out. I'll be putting stuff out. So we'll see you there if you want to send us messages directly there. It'll be either of us that responds. But that's Off the Rack Rebellion with periods in between. Thanks so much to Raimi, our producer in the background, and the Dad Batch for having us in their family of shows. And remember that a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, can be right here and right now.